now it's time to continue Marvel March with Iron Man 2. So, we pick up right where we left off the first film with Stark being interviewed. Just ignore that. We open in Moscow where the interview is being broadcast in a dang apartment. A man calls another man named Ivan, played by Mickey Rourke. The man dies and was Ivan's father. With that, Ivan begins work with some old blueprints that his father, Anton Vango, left him. He begins working his own arc reactor. The image of a dirty laboratory and Ivan giving his cockatoos some warning is surprisingly powerful. As he holds up the arc reactor, we get a title. Cue AC/DC Shoot to Thrill as Iron Man flies in amongst fireworks. Wait. Cue AC/DC Shoot. Okay, we arrive at the Stark Expo in Flushing, New York. As the camera comes off, we get our first public glimpse of Tony Stark, once again played by Robert Downey Jr. Tony speaks to the crowd and they love it. He states that the Stark Expo will go on for the whole year. He presents an archived video of his late father, Howard Stark. Backstage, he texts his blood for toxicity levels. Escorted out by his bodyguard Happy Irving, played by director Jon Favreau, gets into his car and serves a summons to appear before an arms committee of the U.S. Senate. He's addressed by Senator Stern, played by Gary Shandling, about the Iron Man armor referred to consistently as a weapon. Stern wants the armor turned over to the U.S. military, but Tony refuses, saying that he and the suit are one. He get our first glance of Justin Hammer, played by Sam Rockwell. It's by far one of my favorite parts of the film, as Rockwell's performance so slick and smooth really steals every scene he's in. In comes Colonel James Rhodey Rhodes, played by Don Cheadle, who's replacing Terrence Howard after the latter walked over a pay dispute. Stern asks Rhodey to be a passenger out of context when he supports the Iron Man, which Rhodey calls him on. Stark then posts up some images on the report, which are other these attempts at making Iron Man armor. They're essentially Western equivalent of Mecha. North Korea, kill someone. Iran, kill someone. Hammer, turn someone around 180 degrees. Stark then says with that info, other nations are anywhere from 5 to 10 years away, with Hammer 20 years away. Ivan begins work on electric whips to go with his arc reactor. Tony returns to home in Malibu. The arc reactor that's keeping him alive is also killing him, poisoning his blood with the palladium. The Iron Man armor being used not helping matters. Enter Pepper Potts, played again by Gwyneth Paltrow, who is not pleased with Tony selling the art and spending so much time in the Expo and Stark Industries is a mess. Tony decides to give her the position of CEO and celebrate over champagne. Back in Moscow, Ivan gets information where Stark will be next, and some documents for the job. Tony is training, in comes Natalie Rushman, played by very fine Scarlett Johansson. Natalie has her sign over Stark Industries a pepper. Stark dryly remarks, "I want one." "I know, Tony, so do I." Tony pulls up information on her and discovers she's multilingual and modeled in the past. Just to let handle, he takes down Hogan with one grapple. We cut to Monaco and it's the day of the Formula 1 Grand Prix. If I remember right, Monaco is the hardest track in F1 racing, given the cars are not built for city driving, so mistaken as a crash at 120 miles per hour. Tony arrives and exchanges banter with Natalie. Pepper meets Mr. Musk, and who should be there but Hammer. Once again, meet Christine Everhart from Vanity Fair. She has a rather interesting history with Tony. It's mentioned that Hammer lost his contract with the DoD because of what happened with the suit. Tony tests his bullet gun and decides to do something crazy. Drive his car from Monaco for Formula 1. Pepper knows Natalie summoned Hogan and she's concerned about Tony. Engines roar and the race begins. Alright. He's in the middle of all the high-octane driving, an ominous figure comes into the pits. He walks out on the track, activates his whips, burning away a jacket, and cuts one of the cars in half. Hogan arrives at the briefcase and drives the laser limo through the track, backwards. As Tony comes around, his car is cut in two. It's Ivan assuming the role of Whiplash, a combination of Blacklash and Crimson Dynamo from the comics. As a massive pileup occurs, Whiplash slings again and again at Tony. Hogan arrives in the scene and hits Whiplash. He continues to swing at Tony and Tony gets the briefcase he needs. Briefcase becomes a Mark V Iron Man armor and he squares off with Whiplash. He takes some damage, but he musters enough strength to grab Whiplash and rip the arc reactor from his chest. Tony analyzes the arc reactor as Ivan is taken away. Tony goes over to Ivan and speaks with him. Tony speaks with him about the arc reactor, which he says he could have sold it to other countries or straight to the black market. Ivan, however, is not pleased with how the Stark family treated his family. Tony points out even though he won, Ivan didn't want to wound him, just wound his pride. Alright. Stern speaks on TV that Tony treats the Iron Man armor as a toy. Well, Hasbro tends to make a lot of money off the action figures and cosplay equipment. Gosling says Stark believes the suits won't exist for years and yet one existed in Monaco. Pepper is concerned about Tony and wants to call off his birthday party and skip town. Pepper says no, that the company is still in chaos. Ivan is in prison and is given a meal with a note saying to enjoy the potatoes. He discovers that the potatoes was really plastic explosives. He also gets what appears to be Stain's roommate, though I do wonder how he could survive falling through a building and smelling an explosion. Suddenly, Ivan notices they had the same ID number in their uniforms. He then simply puts the explosives on the wall so he can escape, and so Ivan is caught and thrown in the van. So, he's brought to a hangar where Hammer and a plane are waiting. They introduce as they meet over lunch. Hammer speaks to Ivan about their common enemy, Tony Stark. Hammer says he has resources and that Ivan needs what he offers. Ivan says something, rushing to joke with Hammer. He says a memetic line, "I want my bird," as we cut back to Malibu. Pepper and Natalie, going over the company as Rhodey enters. Tony goes over some old articles about Anton Vanko, saying that he and Howard Stark worked together before he was deported on accusation of being a communist spy. Ivan Vanko has also gotten in trouble selling plutonium to Pakistan and had done 15 years jail time. He is also a rather brilliant physicist. Rhodey enters Stark's lab. Rhodey asks him to come up and take care of business, saying the military is all but going to seize his Iron Man suits. He stumbles and Rhodey helps him up. There's a sizzling palladium estrus on his body. He says he doesn't have to go at this alone. Hammer brings Vanko to his factory in Queens and shows him the suits. Within moments, Vanko decrypts his suits codes and suit security, or as he puts it, software is shit. Probably Windows 8. Vanko casually pulls a head off the suit, and Hammer says he wants to make Iron Man look like an antique. Tony insists palladium is reaching critical levels. Natalie comes in, and it's Tony's birthday. Tony asks if he knew this was his last birthday, what would he do? Natalie encourages him to do whatever he wants with whoever he wants. Cut to Tony listening to Tupac, smash out of his mind and inform Iron Man armor. Turns out this scene is loosely based on the Demon in a Bottle arc from the comics, though I haven't read it. Just going on record, it's saying that before the Avengers, before the Marvel Cinematic Universe, nobody really expected Robert Downey Jr. to quit taking drugs and start making movies again, especially not movies this popular. Pepper and Rhodey are not amused. Tony makes a urine joke in his suit. Does it have a dump tank like an astronaut? Pepper asks him to call it quits, but Tony just calls the after party. He then starts drunkenly firing his repulsors. Fun fact, starting with this film, the practical Iron Man suits no longer have legs. His wrappings covered in reflective markers, and the lower part of the suit is CGI. So Tony technically isn't wearing any pants. Like I said, that's pretty apt of Robert Downey Jr. before he got clean. Rhodey puts on the Mark II suit and tells everyone to leave. We also get the posthumous Adam DJ AM Goldstein putting on a mix so Tony and Rhodey can fight. With that, they start brawling and smashing up Tony's house. Another fun fact, part of the reason the action scenes are so over the top is that Genndy Tartakovsky was bought as a consultant in this movie. They fire their opposers at each other and completely destroy his living room. With Tony down, Rhodey flies off with the Mark II armor. He flies out towards the Air Force base in Mojave and shows off the Mark II armor to the troops. Tony is sitting in Randy's donut sign in his Iron Man armor, just eating laying around with Nick Fury, played by singer Al Jackson, tells him to step down. They speak and Tony is still reluctant to join the Avengers. In comes Natalie, who's really Tasha Romanoff, better known as Black Widow. Fury calls out Rhodey for letting Tony fly away in the suit, but Tony fires back that he took it. Fury says that's even worse. Just tell me where the suit is! We are talking about the greater good! Natasha gives him some medicine for his palladium poisoning, and Fury tells him he needs to find a replacement with palladium very soon. Back in Queens, Hammer presents Vanko with his bird. Then Hammer notices the helmets on the suits have been replaced with just heads. Vanko then says another music line, "Do 'em better." Me not spending much, but that's the way Mickey Rourke says it through his Russian accent. Back in Mojave, Rhodey presents the suit to his superior, who wants it weaponized under the supervision of Hammer. Fury tells Tony about his father's role in the arc reactor, as well as Anton Vanko's. Fury tells him he can finish what his father started. Tony implies his father wants to know as the best role model, and Fury tells him he helped found S.H.I.E.L.D. In comes the equipment he needs, Agent Coulson, played again by Clark Gregg. Coulson is there to guard him and says if Tony tries anything funny, he will tase him and watch Super Nanny while he drools on the carpet. Cut to the military beginning work on the Mark II suit, which will become War Machine. Hammer comes in and helps weaponize his suit. Rhodey says he wants firepower. Hammer shows off an array of firearms that he lays on the table one after another, and the small missile referred to as the ex-wife. Rhodey says he wants it all. Tony opens the case and finds some of his father's old blueprints, notes, and films. The films end on a note from his father serving beyond the grave, which gives Tony the clue and the motivation he needs. It is that Tony will always be his greatest creation. With that, Tony drives out to Stark Industries, where the stop to get some strawberries. Also get an appearance by Bill O'Reilly. I've never seen his actual show, but just in this movie, and Transformers Dark of the Moon, and his piece in the paper, he's obnoxious. Tony, he speaks with Pepper about how precious she is to him, but Pepper will have none of it, seeing that she's trying to run the company. She also says she's allergic to strawberries. Natalie and Coulson command Stark takes them all as Stark has believed. Tony has Jarvis make a digital wildfire wall so he can manipulate it. And he knows this essentially looks like an atom, and he may have very well found a new element. He expands and finds the element that can replace the palladium, and then he gets ready to synthesize it. Coulson comes in and knows this is work. He's about to synthesize a new element, and Coulson goes to New Mexico, leaving Thor. Tony begins synthesizing the element and Rex part of his lab. Tony finishes his arc reactor when we cut to Ivan doing the same thing. Hammer demands a weapons demonstration, and Ivan says he can make salute. Hammer then storms and robs Ivan blind. Hammer then triggers a truly brutal call out Ivan, saying his modified Stark tech now has no further need of Ivan. Ivan calls Tony, and we see that he has killed the guards. Ivan plans to do something brutal to Tony's legacy at the Stark Expo. Tony then gets ready to head to New York as Iron Man. Hammer begins his demonstration, and he showboats on stage. I just love him as a villain. Hammer then shows off the Hammer drones for the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. He finishes by unveiling a war machine piloted by Rhodey. Now we see what he means by make salute. Tony, always a man to one-up, shows off his Mark 6 armor with his new power source. Bango takes control of War Machine and the drones, and we get what's essentially the money shots of the film. The ones that are in every trailer and the ones that got your $10. Must admit it's very impressive. Hammer is dismayed that Bango has control, and then Tasha manhandles Hammer. She heads to his factory while Pepper calls the police. Fireworks begin, this last half hour is essentially one big action scene. Ivan gives his drones command to smash the expo. We also see a kid in an Iron Man helmet and glove, a good example of off-the-shelf effects. $200 million production costs, even factories tried to Walmart to get that stuff. Now in the parking garage. Blackwater on Hogan breaking in the factory and getting the sequence trailer shots. Blackwater takes up multiple guards, it's the time it takes Hogan to take out one. Sequence comes back and forth on Factory Day Expo. This movie actually required 2 editors to work on it. Bango is gone as he had activated his Super 4. Tony and Rhodey crash into Oracle Park as Blackwater restarts War Machine. Tony and Rhodey reconciles to figure out a battle plan against the Droids. Here they come. Now it's time to bust some steel. Iron Man and War Machine make struggle with the drones thanks to Tony's waste tracers. Hammer is arrested, and Pepper tells the police to evacuate the park. In comes the last one, Ivan's suit. War Machine activates the ex-wife, and it's a dud. Iron Man and War Machine fight the new Whiplash, but are outmatched and outgunned. Man and War Machine again combine their poster, which takes out Bango. With one last quip, Bango activates the self-destructive suit and all the drones. The whole Stark Expo goes up as flames, Pepper steps down CEO. Tony and Pepper kiss while Rhodey looks on. Rhodey flies off the suit again. Fury talks to Tony about the Avengers Initiative. Iron Man can join, but Stark can only be a consultant. Tony agrees on the condition that he provide a presenter to Rhodey and Tony in Washington. We end on ACD's Hayes Highway House highlighting ceremony. That's Iron Man 2. As you can imagine, it was another big hit, making it $312 million. While I used to really like it, my opinion of the movie went down as the other entries in Marvel Cinematic Universe came out, but I still enjoy it, mostly for the over-the-top action scenes and Sam Rockwell's performance as Justin Hammer. It's a satisfying, if imperfect, movie. Flaws are admittedly the writing being a bit goofier in the first film, and it being a very full movie set up for the Avengers, but still got a lot of enjoyments inside of those elements. I've seen this movie 8 times, and I should be willing to watch it a lot more. My final rating is 3 stars out of 4, and I've got 2 more movies in the MCU I haven't reviewed yet, so that's Incredible Hulk and Captain America: The First Avenger, so gonna work on those, but I'm moving this week, so for these, in a couple of videos, you're probably gonna see me in a new location, so anyway, that's all to say. Leave a comments box below, I shall see you later.